Welcome back to another video. My name is Ange and I am a higher self quantum healer and intuitive. And recently when I tuned in, I received two powerful messages, which I'll go through in a moment and explain how you can apply them to your life, as what we are going through is a somewhat turbulent but powerful shift. The first message which I got, and I felt quite intensely, was that the path of trust is very important for people for where they are headed. And that was very clear and loud for where they are headed. And what makes this message that much more powerful is that recently I was also shown that the kind of trust that people need is where they need to imagine that they're standing between two peaks, between two cliffs. And in order to get from where you are right here, right now, to over there, the kind of trust that you need is that with every step that you take, you need to imagine that a glass floor tile will just appear, even if you take those steps gradually and slowly to where you want to get to. But that's the kind of trust that you need to have, and to know that the universe and your higher self is right there beside you, guiding you every step of the way, and it will take you where you need to go. Because where we are headed, the path will and can feel chaotic. It can feel closed. It can leave us feeling stuck and overwhelmed, unsure of what decision or choices to make. So trust is particularly important right now as we head into 2025 and beyond, because humanity is going through a pivotal phase of transformation, both individually and collectively, and it will push us in the next 20 years into constant evolution from government, culture, society, conditioning, patterns, beliefs and habits, everything coming up. And it will require us to be able to adapt to constant change, and this is why we will need trust. And the universe wants you to know that this is exactly the new beginning that you have been waiting for. Now is not the time to look back over your shoulders, where you have been. That's the past. Now, using this present moment, the universe wants you to embody this new sense of trust and to look forward and to embrace the uncertainty and embrace the unknown. When I was giving this message of trust, I felt a lot of heavy emotion. The magnitude of it was quite immense, a lot for me to comprehend, a lot for me to deal with and acknowledge, to understand that, oh my God, this is what's going on, for many of us collectively. And so I want you to understand that trust isn't just a virtue, it's a tool for navigating this transformative phase. And it was so much going on around the world, it's very easy for people to start believing the world that is shown to them, for them to start believing that there's nothing else beyond all of this, feeling like all hope is lost, and that now this is the world that we now live in, from whichever perspective you're seeing it from. But what you've got to do is you've got to go back to, well, what frequency am I in right now? Because you will be constantly shown and experience things that match that frequency, that justify your beliefs, your ideas and your actions that you hold, influenced by those external influences, people and situations. So let me ask you, what frequency are you in right now? The frequency that you hold, is it one of trust, in that you have the attitude of like, you know what, I am where I am. I know that everything will work out for me, and I know that I will be okay, and everything will work out exactly how I want it to be? Or is it the attitude of like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I can't see the path ahead. I'm worried and stressed out. And oh my God, everything feels like it's falling apart. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I know that I don't want to feel like this again. I don't want to be here in this same situation again. And so with this message of trust, the universe wants you to know that it's taking care of you. You have got to just trust the process, to let go and look for that good feeling thought, to find satisfaction of where you are, reaching for gratitude, and to love yourself. And watch your energy shift. It's calling for you to trust the process and to start believing that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring you what you need. You don't need to worry about how you will get there, how you will manage, how your desires can be yours. You just got to walk the path and trust. And if you're thinking, well, why is there so much turbulence going on here? That is because the old system, the old paradigm is collapsing. Why? Because at the same time, there is a lot of light, high frequency energy coming into the earth. And these two frequencies cannot coexist. These high frequencies will cause the lower energies to crumble. And you can see this playing out globally. And on a personal level, it may be coming up in the sense where you have to come face to face with old situation, past memories, trauma, old emotional wounds are coming up to the surface. And if you're finding it difficult to navigate through those or how to deal with those, then have a look at higher self quantum healing. You know, so many people are using this service as a way to transform their lives, and I will put the link in the description box below. And it can also look like people bring into your awareness things, habits, behaviors, and patterns that you perhaps need to change for the better. And during that process, your ego might take a little bit of a hit. But if you paused for a moment, took a step back, grounded yourself, zoomed out, and saw the whole bigger picture, you can be like, okay, you know what? I understand what's happening. And even though I'm not liking it, I can see that it's happening for me as a way for me to grow and evolve. I just need to ground myself, bring my awareness back to it and see it objectively. I've got to trust the process, that I am part of something grand. Beyond this physical reality, I have a higher purpose, and this is just a stepping stone to it. This is just a turning point. This is not the end of my story. I'm beginning a new era, a new chapter in my life. And just having that kind of attitude helps you to see beyond what you are seeing right now in front of you. You know, it helps you to bring your awareness to the present moment and just see the thing for what it is, you know, without that emotional attachment. Because sometimes the magic happens when you let go, when you release, when you allow yourself to flow with the flow of the universe, and you stop worrying so much, and instead you trust and you surrender, and you trust that you know what, everything will work out. Because sometimes we can find ourselves in situations where we think, you know what, everything is going wrong. Why these bad things keep happening to me? I'm calling for help. I'm looking at the universe and nothing is helping me. So if you are here listening, then take this message as your sign, because the universe wants you to know this. And I felt it immensely in my heart that this is something that the collective needs to hear right now. Trusting the unfolding process will help you to heal emotional wounds and release old fears. It will shift your focus from surviving to thriving, you know, enabling that deep transformation and growth. And although the complexities of these energies can knock us off balance, leaving us feeling overwhelmed, but if you go, okay, there is a lot going on. I just need to ground myself. I just need to anchor myself in at this moment. And then when you're ready, take that next step that aligns with what you are trying to create and manifest, that aligns with where you are trying to go. This will help you anchor in peace, foster resilience, and align you with the divine flow of life, giving you that reassurance of where your life is headed. And you know you have prepared your entire life for this timeline, for this energetical shift, for this opportunity that is in the atmosphere right now. This is a powerful time for you and the collective. So trust the path that you are on and trust that everything will fall into place. The universe wants you to know that these decisions, these choices, these beliefs and these thoughts that you hold now going forward, grounded in trust and faith, lay the foundation for stepping into a new era with clarity and purpose. And this chaos is really clearing space for a new paradigm. But if you look at it through the lens of a collective awakening, it really is an amazing time to be alive, because it implies the evolution of consciousness, and it's happening one way or another, whether we want it, whether we're aware of it, is happening. But often what can happen is that when we find ourselves in a situation, we can get caught up in it, we can get tangled up in it, in the resistance of it, because we get emotionally attached to it. We worry about how it's going to happen. We attach ourselves to the outcome, thinking it has to happen a certain way. You know, our ego gets hurt, our ego is in the driver's seat. But underneath all of it, if we remind ourselves that we are energetic beings, that we are all one consciousness, and by doing so, we can raise our conscious awareness. We can bring our awareness to the situation. And this is not spiritual bypassing what is going on. Instead, by raising our conscious awareness, we can be like, okay, this is happening. Now I know what to do. These are the steps that I need to take. This is how I can let go. I need to ground myself with nature, whatever that may be. You know, I need to journal. I need to seek healing. I need to transmute what is happening in front of me. So this is you then raising your conscious awareness and then transmuting that old energy, creating space for something new to come into your life. And so trusting our journey, trusting the process, trusting the divine timing of things will help us to move forward without being paralyzed by fear, without being paralyzed by the fear of the unknown or resistance. It will become our compass as the old structures fall away, as we shed and release layers of the old consciousness. And during this time, connecting to your higher self will allow you to discern your soul's path amidst the external noise. Trusting a higher purpose will allow you and other individuals to contribute positively without being overwhelmed by the enormity of the changes that are coming. When you trust the journey, you tap into a vibration of love and abundance. You let the universe know that you are ready to create, which is essential for manifesting a positive reality. Without trust, decisions are often made from fear, perpetuating cycles of suffering. And if you are struggling, then accept and acknowledge where you are. Be gentle and kind to yourself. Consider these struggles as intense transitionary and learning sessions, preparing you for something great, preparing you for greatness. And having this perspective will empower you to tackle life with a positive attitude and to transform these obstacles into opportunities. Remember, your current situation is not your final destination. It's a preparation phase, preparing you for something spectacular. So trust your journey, trust your path, and trust that the universe is working with you. You have a whole spiritual team working with you, waiting for you to call upon their assistance. So this is your reminder to lean into that energy of trust and to embody this divine message. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not fully there yet with this whole trust idea, that's okay. It's about recognizing the beauty in trust and understanding that trust unfolds in stages. Trust is something that we develop and create with consistency over time. By doing what we can do, doing what is important to us, whether that's becoming aware of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, rewiring our old beliefs and patterns, letting go and releasing. It's like, for example, having a baby. From the moment of conception to delivery, there is a lot of space in between, for something new to grow. And that is kind of like you going through this transitionary period. In that space in between, like the parents will be creating space, moving things around, nesting for this new baby to be in their house. In the same way, you could be using that space to become aware of what you are thinking, doing, and feeling. Becoming aware of your old patterns, things that we've held on to, these external influences that are having an impact on our life that really don't serve any purpose, or don't serve any purpose for our highest good. So this is the kind of trust that we need as we now move into this transitional period and as we've now entered the age of Aquarius. So going back to the example of the baby, something new is growing, but it's in the womb. And in the same way, you have to trust the process. You have to trust the unseen and trust the divine timing of things, that thing that you want to create and manifest, that change that you so desire will be delivered to you when you are ready. It can't come all at once. There are stages, there's a process to it. So you've got to be gentle and kind to yourself on your journey and know that this is not a race. This is a journey. So you've got to enjoy the spiritual awakening journey that you are on. And along the way, you would have learned to let go. You would have learned to not worry so much. And you would have trusted yourself enough to take that next step. Sometimes you won't know what's coming next or what's ahead. And it's normal to feel afraid in moments like this. Yet, it's in moments like these that if you trust the flow of life a little more, tremendous breakthroughs can occur. Trusting life does not mean sitting back and doing nothing. Sometimes it means surrendering to the universe that's in your heart, that's telling you to do something big, to do something different, and to show up differently. Sometimes trusting means being afraid and taking courageous action anyway. And sometimes it means sitting back and allowing the pieces to fall into place. But only you can discern what it means for you and how to then use it moving forward. Trust yourself enough to make the choices and the decisions that align with your true self, with your authentic self. Trust yourself enough that you have the courage, the talent, the ability, and the skills to achieve your goals. Trust yourself enough to move forward knowing that, you know what, look how far I have come. Look at all the obstacles I've overcome, and that yes, I can do it again. I'm ready to be open to change and adapt myself in these coming times ahead. Trust yourself enough that, you know what, you have your whole spiritual team with you. Your angels, your spirit guides, your universe are right there with you. Your higher self is there holding your hand as you now move forward, walking that invisible bridge to the other side. And I want you to keep in mind that the idea of trust can easily be overlooked, but the path of trust is a spiritual act, anchoring peace in uncertain times and aligning you with the flow of the universe. When you trust, you step into the flow of divine guidance. You let the universe know that you are ready. And then you are able to move forward, making decisions from a higher wisdom rather than from a state of fear. The second message that I was given was people need to live, to breathe, and drop into their hearts. Now, you might have heard about the idea of dropping into your hearts before, but here the universe wants you to know that in order for change to occur, whichever way, it must start in the heart of each one of us. Living, breathing, and dropping into your hearts is essential now more than ever, because the heart is a seed to higher wisdom, unity, and compassion. And as the world undergoes a massive transformation, the heart offers a sanctuary and a guiding light. The heart connects us to our soul, to our higher self, to the collective. And with so much division, separation, and fear, it serves as a stabilizing force. When we drop into our hearts, we remember that we are connected to something great, to divine source energy. Remember our power, our strength. We remember who we are, our oneness, and by living from the heart, we align with these transformative energies that help us then move forward and ahead. When I received this message, there was a lot of heavy emotion that I could feel, like I was carrying something heavy around with me, and that was me tuning into the collective energy. So here, the universe wants you to know that with the coming months, whichever way you want to look at it, it will be eventful to say the least. And now more than ever is a perfect time to practice dropping into your heart and to really, ask yourself what it means to live and breathe. What is it that makes you come alive? Have you ever noticed that when you're busy working away, going from one place to the next, rushing around, are you consciously aware of your breath? What type of breath are you doing? Is it deep? Is it shallow? Or are you holding your breath? Take a moment to breathe and connect. Open the window and just take that fresh breath. Breathe in that fresh air. Even if it's you sitting at your desk, taking a moment to close your eyes and just connect. When you do this, and you become aware of your breath and you drop it into your heart, this allows for deeper healing and integration, creating space for inner peace and wholeness. And now the time has come to really think about, what it is that makes you feel alive. Doing your day-to-day mundane stuff, does that bring you joy and happiness? If not, then something needs to change. We have lived in our minds via the mind for such a long time. The news, the social media, people having short attention spans. We have been programmed to go and do via the mind, but we're now moving into the age of the heart. So it's about how can we now show up differently, how we can do things differently that make us feel alive, that allow us to just be who we want to be, without holding on to outdated systems. And another reason why it's essential to start grounding your energy and to practice dropping into your heart now more than ever is because there is a lot of things happening on the surface simultaneously for many of us, and myself included, where it can feel like you're going through releases and upgrades at the same time, and it can make you feel like you can't pinpoint what it is that's exactly going on. It can knock you off balance, and it can feel like reality is out of sync. And that is because there is this accelerated release in the air. And for many of us, it can feel like at any given time of the day, we're going through an emotional purge or some sort of purge where things are popping us, throwing us off balance, catching us off guard. And this is something that we have to go through. People bringing things up to your awareness. Simultaneously, there is something new energy coming in at the same time. So here are some things that will help you to drop into your heart. And I will also be going through some questions that will make it easier for you to go through this process of dropping into your heart. So one of the first things that you can do is to schedule in stillness. And I use the word schedule because so many people come to me and say, I haven't got time. I haven't got time for me. So make time, because you have called for this message, for this little nudge as a reminder from the other side. So you got to start today. So you can drop into your heart by being still, by going outside barefoot, walking on the grass or the ground, by doing candle gazing, by doing breath work, yoga, body shaking, any type of body movement really, or by doing meditation and journaling. One of the things that I often find that works for me is meditation, because I like that stillness, because it's in that stillness that I can hear those little whispers. But if I just want to work on grounding my energy, I will also do meditation and just focus and enjoy and find satisfaction at just being and doing just that. Or I find just walking around the block, even if I can't get myself to a park where I'm surrounded by complete nature, just walking around the blocks helps me bring clarity to what I'm going through. And it helps me just ground my energy and get myself back to a neutrality state of being. You can also start paying attention to your intuition and start focusing on gratitude and compassion, really developing this capacity more and going forward, deciding what it is that you want to cultivate, what new beliefs, ideas, things, feelings, and emotions you want to give power to. Because when you shift from the mind to the heart, you change your life. And if you find yourself feeling a little bit down or disconnected from your heart, play some music that just makes your heart feel better. I often find myself thinking, and especially when I catch myself consciously, from scrolling on social media, I'm like, okay, what, I'm either going to go read a book or I'm going to put on some soft frequency music on in the background while I do my work or complete this task or whatever that I'm doing, or sometimes it means going and getting in touch with a friend, making contact with someone that by being with them uplifts you. Know that dropping into the heart is such a powerful message, and I feel really strongly about putting this out there. But I don't want you to be put off by thinking it has to be a certain way. There are many different forms of creating that heart connection. And for some, it means connecting with other human beings. For some, it means being still, and that's okay. For some, it means focusing on a project, focusing on art, focusing on their purpose, their passion in life, whatever that may be. And I also want you to keep in mind that even if the world at large seems chaotic and there's something going on, consciously try to drop into your heart. It will do wonders for you. And you can also, in your mind's eye, if you can't get to that place, to that person or that thing, in your mind's eye, bring the image of that person, that place, that thing, whatever it may be, that uplifts your heart. And just connect and be. Dropping into the heart is such a powerful tool because it will not only allow you to access divine wisdom beyond the mind's limitations, but also help you navigate these times with clarity and peace, and allow you to tap into love, not as an emotion, but a state of being, as energy that will then allow you to just show up differently, operating from a heart state rather than a mental level. When we drop into our hearts, that is when we are able to connect with the quantum realm, with divine source and oneness, as it operates outside of space and time, because love is a higher frequency. Dropping into your heart involves cultivating awareness, connection, and alignment with your deepest truths. So here are some questions that can help you easily, through questioning and journaling, drop into your heart. Connection with the self. What am I truly feeling right now, without judgment? What does my heart need in this moment? If I let go of fear, what would I hear my heart saying? What lights me up and feels aligned with my soul? For clarity, you could ask, what does my heart want me to focus on today? Am I making this decision out of fear or love? What guidance is my heart offering me about this choice? How can I embody compassion for myself and others? And I will also put some questions in regards to dropping into your heart associated with healing, expansion, and your connection with the universe in the description box below. So be sure to check those out. And if you have any doubt, I want you to keep in mind that the heart's electromagnetic field is far greater than the mind's, and this is supported and proven by the HeartMath Institution, which means that this is such a powerful center for manifesting aligned desires. So when you live and breathe from the heart, your creations are rooted in authenticity and love, resonating in high vibration. So as we now approach significant energetical shifts, and at the same time, there will be some power plays happening on the surface, keep in mind that heart-centered living will be the key to thriving. So look after your heart, give it love, give it nurture, give it oxygen. Remember that it's a bridge between the physical and the spiritual realms. And bear in mind that heart energy is and will be the currency here on earth. It's just that along the way we forgot. We forgot who we were. But as we are now going towards a new energetical shift, the age of Aquarius, and more of us are waking up and have been waking up, we've been doing the work. We are becoming to the realization of who we really are. And this is why it's now essential, now more than ever, to drop into your hearts and to remember the power that your heart holds. Because this is what the elite are trying to squash. Because they don't want you to realize how much power you actually hold. Because if we all collectively dropped into our hearts, connected with our hearts, remembered who we were as conscious beings, as source divine energy, we will create an enormous, massive ripple effect. And I understand that with so much going on around the world, globally in different places, the fear, the separation, the division, the anger can take hold of us. So now is a perfect time, step by step, to start practicing what it means for you to drop into your heart, what it means for you to live and breathe. The more we drop into our hearts, we transcend polarities like war versus peace, love versus hate, light versus dark, freedom versus control. The heart opens up because it no longer carries the burden of inner conflicts. Instead of being pulled between extremes, we access the unity and coherence that resides within the heart's wisdom. And then from this place, the illusions, the separations, the fear and control begin to dissolve. Living and breathing from an open heart empowers us to see beyond the conflict, both in the world and within ourselves, and to then create a reality rooted in harmony and peace. And if you are here listening and you've made it this far, then hit that like button, as I want you to know that I thoroughly appreciate your support. And I want you to know that the heart is preparing us for a new world that we are co-creating. That when we drop into our hearts, it isn't just a personal practice, but a collective necessity. As more of us anchor ourselves into our hearts, it accelerates the global shift towards a more loving, harmonious and awakened reality. And I just want to say hello and welcome to my new viewers who have recently subscribed to my channel. Feel free to comment below in the sections if there's any advice or anything that you need help with. I love reading comments and offering advice whenever I can. And of course, I would like to thank my viewers who are continually supporting me and my channel. And feel free to share this video with others who you feel need to hear this message. And I will see you soon. Take care. Much love. Namaste.